Yeah, you a monster for this one, man.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Team the Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTube sign-off and imitator. Never duplicated. It was out Team Vicious then.
It's a slap.
We're gonna go raw this week. Was in Norfolk, Virginia, mom. You know what they say, Virginia is for lovers, so perhaps the Vicious Studios should move down there. But before we go into... Anyways, before we do, and before we go into anything else in regards to the show, do need to address something that news broke on it earlier in the day as of this recording, and do feel like it needs to be addressed. Word got out that as of today, this Monday the 11th, this is going to be the last Raw that was done during the McMahon era, as in the Endeavor deal is going to be finalized tomorrow as of the 12th. So yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. I said it a ton of times on here. I can't count how many more times I'm ever gonna say it, but I never thought in my lifetime, I knew it would happen, I just never thought it would happen in my lifetime, that WWE would ever be sold to an outside company. I always honestly kind of figured Vince McMahon would be like a head in a jar, like in Futurama, and in like the year 3000 yelling at robots, "No, god damn it, why the fuck are you programmed to think like that? What the hell is wrong with you? You, minion. Point your arm and wave. Point your hand at them and wave vigorously and violently like." You know, but seriously, I am at a loss of words, which is saying something because I'm still talking. It's a bit paradoxical, but either way, yeah, if this is, whether you love or hate the man, you know, hate to say this, but you got to give the devil his due. Pro wrestling would not be where and what it is right now if not for Vince McMahon doing the shit he did with making WWF a touring brand as opposed to pro wrestling being what it was at the time and just being regional. You know? And let's also call duck a duck and a spade. While the WWE Network, prior to moving to Peacock, the WWE Network, while it was in some points good and some points bad, you know, you had your issues, much like with any other streaming service, wrestling companies really weren't... Wrestling companies were doing iPay-per-views, but let's face facts, man, they were not making money, and it was not a big sell until Vince put the money and the time and the work in to make the network, and it jumped. And trust me, I am not the kind of guy that's going to go blow a whole bunch of smoke up his ass. No, because he's an asshole. He's done shit that no one should have. He's done wrong. But I'm also not going to sit here and pass judgment on him for that, because Lord knows I have fucked up on a lot, and I mean a lot of shit. And if a fraction of that came to light, man, I would have a whole bunch of people. I would have people with torches, and I'm pretty sure I'd have people with torches and pitchforks. Now, I'm not saying I did anything near as bad as what Vince did. No. But I've done some wrong. But I never thought I'd see the day WWE would get sold. And that's been the go-to line, my go-to line for this entire year. Ever since April. That's been my go-to line. I've never thought I'd see this. I just threw out my wrestling bingo card for this year. Fuck. Yeah. So now that I'm done with that and all I'm doing is just prattling on and pissing off the producers behind the camera, let's switch gears and talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Well, show started out with a match right off bat. Charlotte Flair and Shotzi going against Io Sky and Bayley. And decent match. Nice opener. And I gotta tell you, man, I thought Shotzi looked good with just the bald and the peach fuzz on, but man, as her hair's growing out, she's got the little mini spikes going on in that John, and I'm just like, damn. It really is like what they say. If you got the confidence to carry that look, man, you can make anything look good. And she got the confidence and carries herself that way to where it's like, damn, that does look good. Wow. I'm fucking jealous. I mean, you know, I kind of wish, like, I could grow my hair out like that again and do it, but I ain't got that kind of time and patience. Either way, decent match, good opener. It ended with Charlotte and Shotzi, easy for me to say, getting the win because Asuka came out and did a distraction, and they announced also because Asuka made her claim loud and clear. She wants her title back, and staked her claim, calling out Io, so they made it official. They said in 2 weeks' time, so that would be not this Friday coming up, but the following Friday after that we are going to get Asuka versus Shotzi on free TV. So, folks, if the old ticker gives out because of that match, just know two things. One, yes, I am this much of a bastard in real life. And two, I under no circumstances whatsoever want my browser history deleted. If y'all know me well enough, you should know what to expect. Don't judge, don't kink shame. You'd be surprised what some people look up. So, with that said, also we had Austin Theory going up against LA Knight. Yeah! Dummy, yeah! And good match. I dug it. Knight got the win. They also announced that this Friday coming up, we're going to have a rematch of Knight versus Miz. So, looking forward to that. Also had Balor and Priest having their first match as tag champions, going against Ridge and Butch from the Brawling Brutes. And, cool. And by first match, I'm talking about like their first match being the unified champs so they can go on both shows, that kind of bit. So this was a really nice match. This was real nice, real good kind of physicality that I like to see. Priest and Balor got the win. Afterwards, Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits came out. They confronted them and then pretty much hit the nail on the head saying, with the Bloodline and dismay, we are running this show now. So, I don't want the titles to change, but man, I am so for a Judgment Day versus Profits feud. My only question is, who the fans gonna cheer for? Fuck. So, yeah, then we had Jimmy Uso going against Uncle Alan, AJ Styles. And this came to be because Jimmy came in, barged into Pierce's locker room while he was in the middle of talking to Mia Yim. She wound up saying something to AJ and the boys about it. AJ got all sorts of mad over it, talked some shit to him, and then it escalated into this week, so they made the match this week. And then Solo pretty much saying, you're out of the Bloodline when we say you are out. So Jimmy then confronts Paul Heyman. OG, y'all say I'm not out until you say I'm out? Alright, fine. I'm in. What y'all need me to do? What I gotta do? What I gotta do to get back in good graces? Paraphrase, mind you. And Paul Heyman pretty much saying, well, if you happen to take out one AJ Styles. I believe that would set a good message to our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So, yeah. So we had AJ going against Jimmy. AJ also steaming mad because the Good Brothers are pretty much just looking like they're just chilling like villains with Michin, not getting all set up and hyped up for this. And AJ pretty much just saying to Carl and Gallows, y'all can just stay back here. Y'all can just stay in the back. I got this. I'll handle this tonight, okay? Y'all go. Just stay here. So, yeah. Decent match. I thought it was good. AJ got the win, but yeah. So, yeah. So, with that said, let's get into this week's show. Raw Norfolk. It starts out with Jey Uso coming out. And Jey coming out introducing, Jey Uso is in your city. And then Kevin Owens comes out. Now, listen. I'm going to level with you. A lot of us out in the back don't want you here. And I've said and done things I regret. People didn't trust me for a long time. There are people that still don't trust me. But Sammy went out of his way to vouch for you. Now I'll tell you right now, I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't trust you. I don't want you here. But you need to understand, we don't want you around here. So you want to earn trust and you are going to have to work your ass off to earn some trust and respect back here. Then out come the Judgment Day, pretty much saying, whoa. Listen, Jey, you can not be liked all you want, but we welcome you. You are more than welcome to join us in the Judgment Day. Kevin Owens then goes and says, and I'm paraphrasing this, mind you, and KO pretty much saying, if Sammy was here, we could have a match, take care of some business, and then Jey like, yo, you don't need to worry about Sammy. I'll vouch for you. I'll work with you. Let's get this show going. So we get into our first match of the night. Jey Uso, Kevin Owens going against Finn Balor, Damian Priest. Nice little start with the heels leading, and Kevin Owens being the punching bag. Then Jey in, he works some starts getting a small punching bag treatment, and then Kevin Owens gets the hot tag. Good action. I thought it was a nice, good starter for a match. Match came to an end when Owens, he pops Damian Priest with a stunner, and then as he turns around, give some context. Priest tries to set Jey up for the south side of heaven. Jey swats his hand down. Then Priest pops him, catches him in the eye. Jey turns around. Then Owens hits the stunner. And then while Jey's eyes are all still scratched up, can't see straight, throws a super kick, hits Owens by accident. Priest then takes Jey out of the ring. Finn comes in, hits a coup de grace, gets a 1-2-3. That is it. Afterwards, you see Jey talking to Owens. Listen, I didn't mean to, man. And you just see Owens like, ugh. Pretty much just looking like, dude, no, listen. I said I don't trust you. I don't want you around here. So just go. Leave me alone. Having that kind of an attitude. Next up, we got The Miz going against Akira Tozawa. And this is a rematch from before with them two. And yeah. Again, hyping up, building up for the match coming up between Miz and Knight on SmackDown this Friday. We'll be making sure to talk about that next week. And nice little bit of ring work by both guys. Miz pretty much dictating the pace and the flow on it. Miz gets the win by doing not one, not two, but 3 skull-crushing finales back to back to back. And by the time he picks Tozawa up for the third one, he looks like he's dead on his feet. And you could see the ref yelling at him. And man, I give Tozawa credit where credit's due because, well, he is a phenomenal performer. He's a great wrestler. If you'd not seen his stuff when he was in the Independents, highly recommend you look it up. But I give Tozawa credit where credit's due because he's shown he can work the WWE system and style of, you know, okay, he may not be the biggest guy. He may not get to be a marquee guy. But, you know, everyone's got a specific role when you're a performer. And does that mean that unfortunately, even if you're resorted to just working main event or being an enhancement talent? Dude, you know what? And I make this argument all the time. People say all the time, you know, jobbers are pointless. I've seen people make arguments saying jobbers and refs are pointless. Well, you know what? You look at the story in Hamlet. Look at the story in Hamlet. One of the few people that did not die in that was the gravedigger. And how vital was he during that time in the story? Case in point, you're going to need enhancement talent because they help establish other talent. Plus, you need refs. So yeah. Next up, we got Xavier Woods going against Drew McIntyre, and this came to be from a backstage conversation they had with Drew trying to talk to Woods. Whoa. You want to talk to me about what happened with your boy after what happened with you and my boy Kof? Now you see, I just chalk it up to you being mad because my boy Kofi, he won his world title in front of 80,000 plus screaming people. Whereas for you, you only won yours in an empty performance center. And Drew just looking, I know what you're trying to do. Don't do it. You're going to regret it. Oh, trust me, we're past that, sweetie. And pretty much saying that he wants a match with him. So here we are. And Drew was pretty much murdering Woods right out the gate and was dictating the pace for it. While Woods, he got his fair share of shots in, but man, this was like seeing an amateur fighter, like an amateur boxer, trying to go against Mike Tyson in his prime. It was like, yeah, you may hold your own and get one or two good shots in, but dude, you're gonna lose. That's all that was, plain and simple. McIntyre got the win hitting the Claymore. So next up we got Chelsea Green going against Shayna Baszler, and this came to be because Shayna was getting interviewed. Chelsea came over, and might I say, on how great you are as a performer because you got rid of Ronda Rousey. Now, while my partner Piper Niven is still not here, still not cleared, I'm in need of a new partner, so I was thinking you and I could, because, well, let's face it, we're both equals, and then Shannon jumps in, whoa. How about you meet me out in the ring, and I show you just on how good, after I break and tear limb by limb off of your body, just on how much of an equal we are, on how equal we are. And then, just like, turns around, Piper! It's so good. Well, you were here the whole... So you're... And then she snatches the title. Medically cleared. Okay. So, on an unrelated note, you notice Raw is starting to develop a large abundance of angry Scottish people. Piper Niven, Drew McIntyre, heaven help us if Alba Fire and Isla Dawn get there, as well as Nikki Cross. Man, heaven help if they form a stable. Ooh, that's going to be one dangerous group right there. Whole bunch of, and I have a gaggle of angry Scottish people. Anyways, so Chelsea, Shayna, and Chelsea, or not Chelsea. or not Chelsea, I meant to say Shayna was pretty much leading the entire time, all the while Piper just looking outside, almost like a disappointed parent, like, I expected better from you. And just, yeah. Shayna got the win doing what they say is now called the Extremis, which was pretty much Ronda's Piper's Pit. After the match, got into a brawl, almost looked like starting to get into a skirmish with Piper, and then Zoe came out, evened things up, and then Piper was like, alright, I'm not doing this, I'm out. Grabbed Chelsea, grabbed the belts, and then just walked out. So, okay. Looks like we're going to have Shayna and Zoe teaming up based off of mutual respect, because Zoe never tapped out. She just passed. She fought to the point of passing out. Next up, we got trios action. Alpha Academy and Tommaso Ciampa going against Imperium. This came to be because during Gunther's Intercontinental Championship celebration, Gable came out, excuse me, issued a challenge for a rematch. Gunther basically mocked and laughed at him, taking a page out of Christian Cage's book, insulting him as a father because Gunther not only beat Gable last week, but beat him in front of his children and made his children cry. And then they proceeded to do a 3-on-1 beatdown on Gable. Otis came up to try and even the odds. Little avail. Then Ciampa came out with a chair, started swinging it like crazy. Ciampa made his point across saying, I came out because I had a conversation with Pierce. I told him I'm getting tired of waiting in the back of the line all the time. He said if I'm that tired, I need to make myself notice. I need to make my point across. I need to make myself seen. So I can't think of a better way to make myself seen than by going after Gunther and being the man that's going to end his Intercontinental reign. Then they propose a trios match between the two. So here we are. Now we had a good technical start by Gable and Ludwig Kaiser, and good God, dude, like I said, this was a really good start between the two. I really dug it. Gable, he was the punching bag into the break, and after post, Ciampa got the hot tag in. Match was good. I dug it. Otis was in near the end. It was Ciampa with the hot tag and then Otis. Decent match, good flow. I dug it. It came to an end when Gable, he had an ankle lock on Giovanni Vinci, and as Gunther's coming in to go and try and break it up, Ciampa then goes and pops in what looked like I'm trying to remember. I think they said it was called a Sicilian Slice. It almost kind of looked like it reminded me of a Rings of Saturn, but had that move locked in, and Gunther the whole time is screaming and yelling, ah! All the while Giovanni's like, no, fighting the urge, trying not to tap, and then finally gives and taps. So now we come to main event of the night. Raquel Rodriguez going against Rhea Ripley, and whew, two big meaty girls having a slapping meat kind of action. And Hey Siri, make a mental note. Copyright Meat Slapping Meat Girls volumes 1 through 14. Just in the off chance if Brazzers or Naughty America or even Bang Bros tries to make a film series based off that title. Moving forward, Raquel, she starts off hot right out the gate, good and strong. But Rhea, she pretty much is dominating the match, and at one point, Rhea, sitting on the top turnbuckle, winds up using her legs to go and choke out Raquel. And all I could think is, cue Dolph Ziggler meme, that should have been me. It should have been me. Yep. That's all I got to say about that. But for the most part, Rhea, she was pretty much leading the pace. I thought it was a good match. The ending, though, was like a, okay, did not see that. At one point when Raquel's outside, ref's distracted because of Rhea, Nia Jax, of all people, comes up out of nowhere, straight up decks Raquel, takes her out, throws her back in. Rhea then, boom, hits the Riptide, 1, 2, 3, your winner, and still Women's World Heavyweight Champion. Afterwards, Nia then comes in, takes out Rhea, then hits her with a bonsai, looks down, gives her a few slaps across the face, and then goes at the TV. Wink. So, yeah. Some people are a little annoyed and flustered because this is on how we're ending the McMahon era of WWE with the return of Nia Jax. Well, in all fairness, you know, they brought back people that we didn't like before, and in some cases it worked out, and in some cases it didn't. I'm sitting in the middle because I want to wait at least a few weeks into seeing on how it plays out before I go and voice an opinion. Because, yeah. So, with that said, folks, that is it for this week's show. Please make sure y'all remember, not forget, y'all remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ollie Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shiznit details of damn video. Also, thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. A little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Cannot stress enough also, LFC is on Tubi, so it costs $0 to support them. No different than it costs $0 to support the show here. But if you do want to throw a few bucks my way, go check out whatabanova.net for some Vicious Rants apparel, t-shirts, long sleeves, tanks, hoodies. Folks, cannot stress enough that that does help the Vicious Studios and helps us with our show. Also, don't forget to check out these cool ass cats right on the Twitter, Kenny Killer, DLSB_Ozzy, Diabolical and Sergeant Career Fancy Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me.
I got my Vans on, my skinny jeans, and my pullover that says